Here we go. Land transfer tax is considered a, that's right, it's a one-time, that's the classic one-timer, okay? Next, a home valued at 125,000 would require land transfer tax of, let's forget about this for now, let's do the actual math, right? So you start with your 125. Something tells me that it's probably a good idea to have this on your study sheet, just in case, right? Especially the zeros, like, right, the first 30, 60, 60, 50, and the percentages. And maybe to save you some grief, you also write down the decimal equivalent of those percentages, right? That way you're not scrambling and figuring out what those should be. So we take away the 30 grand. The first 30,000, you paid no taxes on that. So you're left with 95,000. The next subtraction will be 60,000. So we can, and that gets multiplied by 0.005. And then you're left with 35,000. At this point, you ask yourself, can I subtract another 60? And the answer is no. But so it's the 0.01. Once you stop, you multiply by whatever that next bracket would be taxed. In this case, it's 1%. So 0, this is 300, and this is 350, correct? So your land transfer tax would be 0 plus 300 plus 350. So you add up these numbers here, and that's 650 bucks. So for a house worth 125,000, it's 650. My brother-in-law bought a house just south of Brandon. It was 120,000. His house. It's a very nice house, actually. It's not what you think it would be in the city here. So his land transfer taxes were only 650 bucks. So you save on the house, you save on interest, you save on that. What's the downside, you might ask? Lots of driving, right? So they don't have a superstore, they don't have a pharmacy, they don't have anything. For everything, he has to drive. So you might have to get like a Tesla or something, right, to get around. All right, one more. Home valued 187,200. So here we go. How do I do this? I take the 30. I don't pay any taxes on it. Don't multiply it by 0 because it's going to be 0. You're left with 157,200. Don't drop the 200. Okay, it's very important. The next amount to subtract is 60,000 again. You pay 5% on that. You subtract, you're down to 97,200. Can you subtract the next 60? Yes. This one you pay 1% on. Some of you are going to memorize these numbers. Right? So then you're down to 37,200. So we went 30, 60, 60. The next would be 50, correct? You cannot subtract by 50 though, because then you're in the negatives. So you just take this and multiply it by 0.015. So it's whatever followed 1% was 1.5%. So the 37,200 are in this bracket, right? In that category. So they pay that much. So this is 300. This is 600. This I need help. 37,200. 558. That's what I get. Okay, so these numbers, all four technically, but 0 doesn't, there's no point in adding 0. So it's 3 plus 6 plus 558, and that is 1458, right? So it's this one right here. I used these ACs when I was teaching from my basement. I was teaching grade 12 from my basement during COVID. And so I would make all these Google ACs, right? So that's that, 1458. Let's do the back side. Let me just get my keys. If I have it, I do have it there. Okay, so I'm going back. 398,500. I'm going to start right from here. So minus 30,000. That pays 0 taxes. This gives me 368,500. I subtract 60,000 from it. This is the fail-safe way of doing this. You'll never get it wrong if you do this. It's time-consuming, all right? Take away 60,000 again. This gives you 248,500. You take away, so 30, 60, 60, the next is 50. Okay? You pay 1.5% on that. That's 198,500. What do we tax that? Half, 1.5, 2%, right? There's nothing else to subtract anymore once you've gone through the 30, 60, 60, 50. Remember, the 30, 60, 60, 50 adds up to 200,000, right? So you are 198,500 above the $200,000 mark. So this is 300, 600, 750, and this one is a lot, right? 3970. So once you get past 200,000, it goes up quick. So your land transfer tax would be adding all these up, and that is 5,620. Can you imagine that, right? This is, you're going to have to pay that. There's no way around that. So if your family is in the midst of looking for a home, you can calculate the land transfer tax for them. It's like, did you know that you're going to need this much more? Your parents are probably going to know that already, but you can still impress them. Okay, next, insurance. Owns a home, right? So you're owning. It's in Winnipeg, which is to insure a property with a replacement value of 195,000. We know, if you have been doing your work, that this is not over the max, right? So we're good. You want a $500 deductible with a comprehensive policy. We don't care about after tax. Did I tell you not to do this one? Okay. Should I do it? Might as well. Insurance. It's not going to be that much work because I don't have an overage. So 195 Winnipeg comprehensive. 742. Right? 742 is the number. I basically close it there. That's it. It's a $500 deductible, so I don't even need to multiply it by 1.10, right? So this is it. This is what it would be technically, and it's not here because we no longer have taxes, right? So this is the answer. Okay, last one, and then we'll do property taxes. So you own a home, area 2, you wish to insure your property with a replacement value of $315 under standard coverage. So you want a standard coverage $500 deductible. Okay. So we're over. So I'm going to figure that out right away. Overage, it's 315 minus the 200,000 max. If it had been renting, 75,000 is your max, right? So you are over by 115,000. Okay, that would definitely be a mark. Usually I'd give you a mark for that. And then we figure out the insurance. Area 2 standard. Let's go look for it. Area 2 standard. You go down 519, and you're going to pay this much extra for anything over. Okay, so 519 gets you to 200,000 coverage, but you need to buy more. So here we go. 519 plus, it's a plus, right? 115, a number over 1,000, and that number is 275. And make sure you do the square bracket here, just in case. It's a $200 deductible, so no need to multiply that by 1.10. Make sure you do this step first, right? 115 times this divided by 1,000. So that's 519 plus 316.25. So your total is 835.25. It's right there. Okay, so hopefully this helped you to bring back some of those skills, some of those concepts that we covered before.